Hey there, Flesh and Blood folks, and welcome back. Today's video is a public drop of a Dice Commando team video that I released just before Christmas. I'm really happy with where my Kassai deck is at right now, and I wanted to share it with you all. So today's video is a great example of the members-only videos that are available to Dice Commando channel members. Please enjoy, let me know your feedback, and as always, go Commando. Hey there, Dice Commando folks. How's it going? Happy holidays again. Thanks for checking in for today's tourney recap slash deck tech. Talking Kassai. So I went over to Geeks and Games. It's actually quite a drive away, closer to some of our other DC team folks. So I was able to meet up with them, and that was fun. But yeah, this was on a Tuesday, so I actually took work off and drove across town. Took almost 2 hours. It was stupid. Anyway, you don't care about that. But I did win the tournament. So I went 4-0. On it with my Kassai deck. It felt really good. Not only just getting the win, obviously it feels great to win and all that, but I had tempo the whole night. I'm really happy with where this deck is. So we can run through real quick the round. So obviously I wasn't running this, so I don't have all the details. I believe there was 11 people. I think 11 was how many were there. So 11 people there. My first round was against Nate. He was on Levia. So I mean, that one was pretty easy overall. I had enough to block, and then I had enough to block when I needed it to, and, once he got Blood Dead in and the pressure put on, and he either blocks and dies or he doesn't block and die, and it's kind of how she works, right? So next was against Carson. All right, sorry about that. I just spent like a minute trying to remember what Carson was playing in, and honestly don't. What I remember about this game is he was relatively new, so this was like his third tournament game or something like that. Maybe third tournament either way. So this one was there was a lot of teaching and discussion and stuff going back and forth. So no worries. I got that one down. Sorry, I don't remember honestly what he was on. All right, Cameron was third. So Cameron's a good player. So once I got through the other two, I was like, all right, now play some good players now. So Cameron, sorry, that's not a shot on the other players. Just start playing some real. Got to pay attention and start doing math fab. And Cameron's very, very good player. So he was on Dorinthea. And I felt his pain on this one because I was shutting down. I played this game great. I did. I really played this game great. I shut down everything he wanted to do while maintaining pressure. And, there were a lot of times I was taking a hit only to shut down the second hit and no counter. And then it's what I do, right? And I overblocked a couple of times knowing I only needed a 2-card hand with double swing because it was getting in game. And, there were a couple times he clearly had a good play, and there was one time I just dropped my hand. Like, he had a supremacy something, I just dropped my hand, and he was like, had 2 cards left in hand. He just kind of looks at him, and he's like, Arsenal pass, because I've been there with Dorinthea before, right? So just shut him down, and it was what it was. All right, third, again, but like I said, I had, even though there was a couple times that I full blocked, which, yes, means I don't by definition have tempo, I was in control this whole match. Like, I knew everything he was going to do, but like I had it under control. All right, fourth match was against Patrick, so he was on Bravo Dominate, and he was playing it very well. I think he should have won this game, but he was like every time he swung, he dominated, and which is good. He's landing damage. But he wasn't shutting me down. And at some point, right, because I still had armor, the only one I'm really worried about is Spinal Crush, and I was able to, get it to 3, right, with throwing some armor at it, and then come back. And I do think that was a mistake on his part, because it basically meant he was saving an extra card that didn't get him any value, right, any real value. Going to Bravo, if you understand what I'm saying, right? Didn't get him attack value, and some of the crushes, like he hit me for a dominated choke slam, which sucks, but doesn't hurt me. So then I'm able to take 5, 4 probably with my boots, and then come back with like 9 with goes. And it's just, I'm not, the Kassai Bravo match is honestly probably a 50-50 match. But when he was holding back a card and then spending that card for no net value, I think that was a mistake. So I was in the driver's seat on this the whole time. So it felt good. It was good to get a win. I've not been doing great lately, so it was nice to have a win. All right, so let's go over to the deck. So I am very happy. I'm very, very happy with where this deck is right now. And there's a couple non-conventional things that I've done in here that fit my play style that work really, really well for me. So I kind of wanted to talk through those with you guys. So if this ends up being longer than normal, my apologies, but I think there's some value here. So obviously the Sabers, I mean, this is standard. Gallantry Gold I am playing because we have the room. I don't ever play Gallantry Gold. Like, not ever. Very rarely I play Gallantry Gold. I actually think it's the right play for maybe the Kano matchup, right? Maybe. But I don't play it. So, and then boots, gloves, hood, you do run courage because you want to run courage because you want to have your blood on your hands turn. I mean, that's the way it works, right? So, Blade Runner, Driving Blade, in the swing, it's all vanilla. Iron Song, red and blue. So I am happy with, if I was going to flex a slot, it would probably actually be Iron Song. And I know that sounds crazy, but with the way that Blitz is right now, I think this card this card wins games, but this card also wastes a lot of value early, right? Nourishing is self-explanatory there. So the MVP of the night for me was Puncture, right? You see a lot of armor blocks in Blitz because people, it's disproportionate to health and disproportionate to CC and health. You see a lot of that to try and get under whatever. Puncture is good. So I had recently swapped out Slice and Dice for Puncture. That was a 1-to-1 I made 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, whatever, right after Dynasty release. Puncture 1-to-1 went in for Slice and Dice. And it was the right call. The question on Slice and Dice is if there's something that could bring it back. Out for Blood makes sense. So then we have, the other nice thing about this is I now have 2 reacts that can pump regardless. And to that point, right, so let's talk Sharpened Steel, which is right here in Outland Skirmish. So a lot of times people have only been playing Outland Skirmish because Outland Skirmish is strictly better than Sharpened Steel. No duh, right? That's how it works in Kassai because of the one-handed and the copper threat, which does carry the whole turn. So forces blocks the whole turn, or they let you get blood on your hands, which, to be clear, was another mistake. A lot of people, I was at 6 copper in 3 of my games. I was at 6 copper on turn 1, or my second turn. So if I was 0-1, I was at 6 copper, or you guys get it. Okay. So to my point there, like, I think that did hurt. But the reason I like these both, and the reason I'm running it over Slice, there's definitely an argument to also be swapping out Sharpened Steel over Slice and Dice because it's worth 4. It's 4 value for a 0 red as opposed to 3. That said, in cases where they do stick you with the spine, like Bravo's a thing, right? They do Spinal Crush you, or Hypothermia is a thing. Having the ability to swing for 9 and then threaten reacts, even on 1 swing, is still really strong. Or swing for 6, you guys get it. So I really do like having both of these. And I think it's because I've been going back and forth on that with Slice and Dice and all that with the different slots. I'm like pretty certain it's the right call. Because there are times where, either way you're getting 3, whatever card it is, you're getting 3, maybe more out of it. But I think the ability to front throw it on a single swing, especially if you draw like an all red hand, like I did. There were a couple times over the night I drew an all red hand. It was like Sharpen, Skirmish, something else. You can still swing for 9 for 1. No, well, 8 threaten 9. You guys know what I mean. But 8 threaten 9 in that case. Either way, very strong. 1 Minerva is so good, but Minerva, like if you run 2 of them, that's bad. So 1 Minerva is the correct. Glints, Shunt, this wins games. This wins games, kids. Do not leave Blitz home. Do not leave home for Blitz without Steelblade Shunt. Hit and run blue. There's an argument to be made that hit and run could actually be precision press, but I think that if you need it in game, you probably don't want to pay for it. So I think hit and run's right. Run through is just another Blade Runner. Sink below, those are the only directs. It does feel bad. I used to run 4, but I think 2's the right. And then obviously Blood on Your Hands. Push forward also with the Dominate is pretty stupid good. Do note this can also be a front pump if it has to be. I actually did use it the other night as a front pump just because. So that is that. I mean, that's the list. It's nothing super special, but there's a lot of just like the little tuning type stuff, and I'm really, really happy with where this list is. Not just because I did well, but it just it sings. It sings. It's so good right now, and I'm very happy with it. So puncture having the 2 1/3s, I think made a big difference. And like I said, if I was going to change anything, it would be right here. If I was going to change it, which I'm not, but doing a slice and dice here, I think is a valid argument versus recounting on the reprice. I do think it's a very valid argument. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. And hopefully this works well for you, and hopefully you enjoyed this and the kind of the more, I know I'm disorganized and all that because that's how these work, but a little more deck techy kind of theory crafting side. But I'm positive this is the right answer, and that would be the flex slot. Because Slice and Dice is good. I'd really like to bring Slice and Dice back. And maybe that's the right answer. So maybe we'll test that, but I'm pretty happy with where this is. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, folks, and have a great holiday. If nothing else, go Commando.